is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for the second episode of the Infinity Summit Group podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the self-improvement trap and self-care, kind of just what to do to stay healthy and some tips and tricks that we have, and just kind of talking about different things to keep a healthy body, because if you have a healthy body, then you can keep a healthy mind. So we're going to jump back to the self-improvement trap. The self-improvement trap is something that I've found myself doing recently in months. I was in about five months ago, I was in a rut.
Can you pause that? Can you kind of explain the self-improvement trap for the listeners?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So the self-improvement trap is when you're you really want to get better in your life and you want to progress in a certain area in your life, or all areas of your life, as we all do. And you tend to consume a lot more content than you're actually putting out. So basically you just kind of are reading too much, or
so it seems like it's you're wanting to improve so much that it becomes almost detrimental and counterproductive kind of thing.
Exactly. It becomes counterproductive because you're not actually, putting any effort into any of the things, or you're putting too much effort. Because what I found myself doing in that rut is I wanted to get better so bad that I started to change every part of my life, but it was too much to handle. And this is a part of the self-improvement trap is, you got to focus on one thing at a time. Say like sleeping, eating, you want to work out, you want to, read more, you want to be more productive. That's all well and good, but you can't do all that stuff immediately, and I tried to work out, wake up early, start eating healthy, like reading an hour a day, and I burned myself out so fast because I was trying to do way too much, way too fast. So to avoid the self-improvement trap, I would recommend starting on one thing that you want to improve in your life and just working on that, and then just see and kind of track your progress with that, and that'll kind of help you to see how far you've come. Plus, you're not going to get overwhelmed. And some people, it could work. If you're one of those people who can take on a lot of tasks and a lot of stress at once, that might be good for you. But the majority, I would say, I'd say that's pretty safe to assume. The majority of people can't handle a lot of stress thrown on them at one time.
Yeah, and y'all just remember that even Benjamin Franklin took 2 weeks at a time to improve things about himself.
That's one of the things I was going to mention.
One thing every 2 weeks. And if he had to go back to it, he would. But you don't overexert yourself on too many things at once. It just doesn't work.
I find myself actually doing this with the firefighting school, for example. I've wanted to
Tell us a little bit about that,
yeah.
Firefighting school.
Well, pretty much just my entire life I've wanted to become a firefighter, specifically going like forest wildfires. But I've wanted to do it so long and so bad. Well, I guess so bad for so long that I've told everyone, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it so soon. And I've wanted to do it so bad that I haven't acted on it at all. And I'd consider that a good self-improvement trap. So I've told everyone I want to do it so damn bad, but I just haven't done it. So I don't know. It's kind of what I thought about, right?
That's the integrity thing too. That's why it's hard to tell people what you're doing or what you're excited about, because if it's something like you want to do really bad, I'd do the same thing where I'd tell somebody yeah, I'm going to make this song, and then I'll never do it because I just become either disinterested in it, or it becomes too much of a project, and then they're like, well, where is it? Well, I never made it.
Yeah, there's something that I've heard in like a lot of the spirituality and goal setting circles is, if you set so much energy towards talking about something, you don't have the energy to actually take action to do that thing. So it's very intriguing that if you talk about a goal too much, you may not end up achieving it.
School did a
good job of putting this out there too when they tell you to do SMART goals, like, specific, measurable, attainable, reachable, and time bound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're in school, you hated talking about that, but now it's a real good way to set goals, and it helps you, I don't know, keep things in line, and makes it attainable instead of kind of like you said, I'm making a song, I'm making him a song, but he's not putting any kind of constraints on himself to do it, so nothing ever happens.
Yeah, we here at the Infinity Summit Group always make sure we give our goals a time frame, we give ourselves a specific reward, and we'll call it an incentive. If we don't achieve it, we make it very boxy as far as what you want to achieve and when, and that helps you keep your head in the game and shoot straight as an arrow, as it were.
This is it's kind of off topic, but it's like a fear of mine almost, is once you reach your goal, then what's after that? So why do you want to reach that goal if there's nothing after that you can think of?
The next goal.
The next goal.
Yeah, but what?
The
like, you don't
Infinity
have another
Summit,
goal.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never ending.
I don't know. It's just
No, but that is a
Yeah.
that is a very real and very good fear. And there was a great book I read one time. It was called The Alchemist, and it's about this kid essentially that goes on his own personal journey through life, and he's talking to this old man. This old man says, "You know what? I've always wanted to go to Mecca." And the young boy's like, "Okay, we've got you enough money. You've got the time, all this stuff. You've got the resources. Why don't you go to Mecca?" And he tells the boy, "It's not going to Mecca that fuels me every day in life. It's the idea of going to Mecca that fuels me in life. I don't know what I would do with life if I were to achieve my goal." And that is a very sad reality of most people's lives. They just don't know where to go to achieve that goal and are scared to achieve it. But what I found that is, as you achieve more and more, then there's always a new horizon.
yeah. Well, makes sense. Just got to jump on it, I guess.
We'll get there. We'll follow your career with great interest.
I like it.
But yeah, basically, just make sure you're setting small goals that are very reachable, and start small. There's no shame in starting small with small things. Just changing one thing in your life can really change your whole outlook, and then just keep going on certain things, and it'll help you.
Like Jordan Peterson says, if you can't fathom the next week, the next month, the next year, fathom the next day. Try the next hour. If you have to, do the next minute. You can achieve these things. You just gotta set your time frame appropriately low so that you can achieve these things, starting from the bottom up.
Or like he likes to say too, start small, make your bed, get your house in order before you try and change things around you.
Mm-hmm.
So start small, and eventually things, cutting everything into pieces and bits makes it a lot easier and feel more attainable and more realistic.
And in the end, every part of your life reflects every other part of your life. If you're doing fantastic at work and everything, you're doing great in real life, whatever, and you got a dirty, messy room all the time, that says something about your internal structure.
Oh yeah. Well, and one too, if you have a clean room and everything's organized and where it's supposed to be,
it's a good foundation.
It's very helpful, because then you have, the more of a clearer mind, and you can focus on other things. I find myself doing that when I get home and I want to start on a project or do anything, and I see my room's a mess. I'm like, oh,
Makes you want to sit on the couch.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. I give up.
It's not worth it anymore.
I can't even clean my room. How can I do this?
Or make my bed. Yep.
Yeah, I can't even make my bed. What the crap's wrong
So
with
I
me?
make my bed every morning. Well, now that I have a wife and she wakes up later than me, I make my half of the bed.
Yeah, there you go.
What I come home to is not my choice.
But, so I guess that pretty much sums up the self-improvement trap. Does anybody else have anything else to add on that?
No, that was pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Alrighty. Well, we can jump straight to the meditation and self-care. So meditation is something that I would love to start getting into. I personally haven't really started doing it that much. I meditate here and there, but I would like to make it a constant thing, because it helps you kind of ground yourself in that moment, and then you can kind of have a clear day and more focus throughout the day.
And this ain't hoodoo voodoo stuff. This is proven to relieve stress. It's proven to calm anxiety. All these health benefits are associated with meditation. Just takes a second and slows down.
There's even meditation types that they'll help you keep focus longer, and they do that by like getting a candle flame and you focus on that for as long as you can.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely that'll make it so your focus continues to go up and you can stay longer. Because it's very difficult to focus on something like that for more than a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I had a very interesting experience. There was someone who called me while they were having a panic attack, and I actually used that meditation with them. It's like, okay, imagine this candle flame. You got to focus on it. And I ended up talking them down out of it, and they were fine after. But it's just very interesting. There's, Exhibit A for meditation benefits, but Jesse is our in-house specialist at the moment.
Yeah,
I know some, but not
on
nearly
the
enough,
academics
for
of
sure.
meditation. Yeah, he's our Pinterest dude and posts a lot about meditation. So
there's so much information out there that it's kind of hard to even disseminate what's good and what's not and what's realistic. But
yeah.
I mean, I do my best, and there's some neat things out there for sure that are supposed to help you in almost in all aspects of life, is what they say.
How long should you do it every day? Do they recommend?
I think it's different depending on what person, but I haven't really looked into how long, as opposed to like I want to look up like how to breathe, maybe what should focus on, words, all sorts of things. I've been looking up and seeing and most of the time it seems to be on a case by case basis what you like the best and if it affects you the most. Like there's ones where you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it, and breathe out for 4 seconds. And that's supposed to like reduce stress and anxiety, and I don't know. There's so many different benefits to the way that you breathe alone that it's kind of hard to narrow it down as to what's good for each individual person.
And do you know why different types of breathing actually benefits, or we still working on that? We've got no clue.
I've seen things before where if you breathe a certain way, it'll kick your nervous system out of a fight or flight system, which
really?
will make you calm down. And it helps you kind of like breathe out the certain hormones that your body creates to do this. But it's also it's so in depth that it's kind of hard to wrap your head around when I have no like prior knowledge of any of this.
Yeah, that's fair enough. There's a guy I listen to on YouTube called Alan Watts, and he quoted a kind of Eastern proverb. He says, if you can, meditate for 2 hours every day, and if you can't, meditate for 3. So it's that shows, at least in the Eastern culture, how important meditation is, and taking a moment to really center oneself in the moment and kind of let go of everything else so that you can just relax. And that's the point. We're all pent up so bad all the time. It's insanity to run around like a chicken with its head cut off,
Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, or Jess was saying, in my opinion, everybody's meditation can look different. It doesn't have to be cross your legs and sit in a corner with candles. Everybody's meditation is different. So find what works for you and what works for you and what you like best.
One of my favorite meditations is going home. So during the week, I'll listen to mostly Audible books. But on Fridays and then most of the weekend, I will listen to music instead. It just kind of lets me unwind and relax. And sometimes I'll sit in my car in silence for a drive, and that's nice.
Going on hikes and sitting and listening to the sounds of the forest.
Oh,
that's a meditation. Hiking, in my opinion, is a form of meditation.
it is. I always want to run on the trails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very fun.
Yeah,
but they say there's the meditation and there's one called walking meditation or moving meditation. And the reason they say that works is you're doing less small movements and stuff. But when you stretch out your big muscles, they produce an enzyme or a chemical that directly like lowers your stress levels and all the kind of things that affect your stress and your hormones. It directly produces something that lowers that, so it helps.
Do you remember what it was called? If it was serotonin or
not a clue, because
endorphins or anything?
there's so many websites and
Yeah.
words, and you
Fair
read
enough.
over it and it's a big chemical name, and you just like, I don't even understand what that means. I'm just going to. I get
fair
it in the
enough.
context of the sentence, but not in the context of the what it actually is.
Yeah, of course. So another thing that meditation really helps with is like mental health issues, and that's no joke.
Yeah.
It's they are coming out and have been coming out with for years the fact that these mental health issues are sicknesses, they are diseases, they do have cures sometimes. It's not necessarily all in your head, though quite literally it is in your head. But it is so much more than that. It affects one's being more than just chemicals would.
Working out helps with that a lot.
Yeah.
I've personally found myself working out. Like if I'm ever going through hard times with my mental health, because obviously all of us have it, no matter what. But working out helps a lot, so that's always good to do.
There's a lot of different things for each mental disorder. The thing is, like Noah was saying, it is a serious thing, and it's usually a chemical imbalance in your brain. At least depression is. And if you've never had these things, then you kind of don't take it very seriously. I didn't when I was a young lad, just growing up.
Also, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're doing good if you've never had any mental health anything.
Keep doing it. But I used to not be very nice to him, because I would just think like, oh, if you're depressed, just get happy, just be happy. Like it's a mindset.
If you're thirsty, get water.
Yeah, if you're thirsty, get water. And then when I got a little older, around adulthood, I actually felt the depression. And I was like, oh wow, this is serious, and you don't know what to do. You have no clue how to fix it. But like Logan was saying, working out, being outside, being in sunshine, eating correctly is actually a big thing, because a lot of people are just deficient in certain vitamins and minerals that they need. That comes from a lot of the healthy foods, and in America we don't really eat that healthy, so it's kind of no wonder that we're having so many health issues.
No, I went to Europe on a trip, and it was amazing. The food over there, they've got whole different quality of food. Whether GMOs affected or not, most of it was non-GMO. Most of it was local. It was all fresh. It was just absolutely amazing. All the food there.
Yeah, if you go to Bali, I've never been there, but I heard from one of my friends, he's like, yeah, there's fruit trees just everywhere. You can just pick fruit.
Free food?
Yeah, over there they have farmers market everywhere, where it's just healthy food all over the place. And here you don't see
not many
Whole Food or
farmers markets.
Farmers markets nowhere, and especially right now because of the COVID thing, they shut that stuff down. So it's you can't even get that food if you wanted to. Yeah. So it's kind of becoming very hard, but we still have access to a lot of these things, which is amazing. It's just people won't do it because they want instant gratification, and that's part of the self-improvement trap too. Is trying to separate yourself from instant gratification.
Yeah, that's a big one. Just like in our first episode talking about budgeting, that was, definitely got to focus on separating yourself from instant gratification for long-term benefit. You eat a fruit instead of a candy. You eat a vegetable instead of that burger. You just work out. Hurt your muscles, get sore, rather than sit on the couch on your video games.
Mm-hmm. Which makes your muscles more stiff and
gives you more depression and
feel like crap later on. Anyway,
yep.
Do what's meaningful and not what's expedient. So,
that was Jordan Peterson, wasn't it?
Dang right it is.
Oh, he's amazing. All right, and then last thing on that, on working out and stuff, seeing your physique change in a way that you enjoy, and seeing your physique become muscular, become toned, feeling yourself be strong is a huge mental health boost. It is incredible what large arms and abs can do for it. A man's mental health makes you feel good.
Yeah, and I would say that's for everybody. A healthy body is attractive, and not necessarily that you're trying to be attractive and appeal to everybody else's needs, but like you saying, being healthy and seeing your body like grow in muscle, it's a huge booster, and it gives you more confidence. It actually makes you happier. When I see myself working out and I like see progress, like
Get that
makes me
muscle
feel
pump.
like a badass, you know, just like heck yeah, I'm getting there instead of like sitting on the couch and eating chips. It scares me when I'm getting fat.
Yeah. If you think about it, it's something like, if you think you're fine where you're at, maybe muscle-wise and stuff, but if you think about like how panicky you'd be if you gained 40 pounds all of a sudden, you'd be like, oh, I don't know what to do. And you could see how that would affect your mental health the way bad, but the other way, it's kind of like, I don't know. But I mean,
if I lost 40 pounds, I'd be in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Put on 40 pounds,
if I put on 40 pounds, it'd be bad.
You can see it one way, and it's kind of hard to see the other way, where you're like, I kind of find where I'm at. But if you went there, you'd be like, oh, this is so much better than what it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Talking with people too, always a big one. Not with like counselors and stuff. Personally, I'm not into that.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. You'll have a mental health record.
Yeah.
And then you can't
buy
do all
firearms
these
and all that,
awesome
right?
things that you want to do in life for a certain number of years. If you can find someone that's not professionally rated, that's not going to be on a record for you, please try that.
Try
First a
that,
friend.
But
also,
don't let that prevent you
Yeah,
from getting professional help.
if you need help, go get help.
Exactly.
Don't,
But try to
don't
avoid it
bundle
for sure.
up. It
Yeah.
will come out one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we have one more topic under mental health, and that's self-discipline, which is huge. It starts with making your bed, starts with budgeting, starts with just the small things, taking out the trash, going on a walk every morning, just whatever you decide to do. Be disciplined and committed enough to continue doing that. I've got some interesting books on self-discipline, but I know one of the things that this guy recommended was to take cold showers every day for however long that you decide to do it, and it definitely benefited me. I still do cold showers to this day. I'll go hot, almost as hot as I can, and then towards the end of the shower, I'll turn it all the way cold, and boy, does that give you both a rude awakening and a certain appreciation for warmth, and really helps you just see the bigger picture and how self-discipline in every part of your life can benefit you. I don't know if you guys have tried that specific method, but I'd recommend it.
You?
So,
Or what's it supposed to do for you, I guess?
So taking ice showers does a couple things. First of all, makes your brain think that, I never thought I could do this, because you step into that shower at first and you're like, wow, I'm going to die. I'm going to freeze to death. This is bad. I'm burning, but the cold way. And what you're supposed to do is put a 5-minute timer on it, have it all the way cold from the beginning, step in, and stand in there for 5 minutes. After the first minute to minute and a half, you're numb. And then after that, it's just, well, dare I say, enjoyable.
It actually is. I actually tried that after you mentioned it.
Oh, did you?
I did
Just
a couple
ice
times.
shower?
I don't do it anymore just because
it's
I'm
rough.
not there right now. Like, I'm dealing with other things, so I didn't want to put that as part of my daily routine. But I tried it, and it does make you feel. It makes you feel refreshed as heck when you get out of the shower. You're like,
And like you can conquer
I can do anything.
every time. I just
Woo! Yeah, like holy crap. And it is rough, and it's kind of pushing yourself to the limit, saying of like, how much can I handle before this is too much?
and it's training your brain to know that it can push through things, it can conquer things. So when you're facing everyday challenges in life, do I eat a cheeseburger or a vegetable? You can choose the healthier option and the better option for you in the long term.
Self-discipline, you almost can't get. I'm not saying you can't get anywhere. I take that back. it's very difficult to get anywhere without self-discipline, because you have to have self-discipline if you're trying to do anything and progress in any area of your life. You need to wake up at certain times if you want to work. Or say this podcast thing, we wouldn't make it to this podcast if we all didn't have self-discipline enough to actually make it here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Every
that's a
Monday.
big part of it. Every Monday, yep. And yeah, self-discipline is a huge role in everything you do. It helps your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, with budgeting, self-discipline, every area of your life. So practice self-discipline. I would say that is something you want to incorporate into your daily life.
And what were some of those books that you said you had on the self-discipline?
Grab those real quick.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, pull them up. They should be on the website.
Okay. And then while he's jumping to that, our next topic will be about personal hygiene and just taking care of yourself in general. We all don't want to smell like middle school gym locker rooms. Is
Dank,
gross.
as the kids say.
Dank.
Or rank.
Brush
Yeah.
your teeth, put deodorant on.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
clean.
Be clean. Yeah, this is pretty
Scrub
self-explanatory.
yourself in the shower. Yes.
But I mean, it's a big thing that a lot of people don't actually do. Like
All part of discipline and self-respect.
Yeah, it's common sense, but it's something that's people
Common
seriously
sense
lacking.
is not so common nowadays.
No, common sense is a failed. What am I saying? It's a lost teaching.
Yeah. Agreed. So I've got those two books here. One's called Daily Self-Discipline, and the other is called How to Build Self-Discipline. They are both by Martin Meadows, and they are both on Audible and on our website.
And another good book for self-discipline would be You Can't Hurt Me.
By David Goggins.
Very, very good.
That's a pretty dang good book.
Mm-hmm. He's a little bit whack when it comes to self-discipline. It's more like self-masochism, but
Yeah,
you know.
he's intense. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
he's intense.
He's a little
Self to build
intense.
himself back up.
But sometimes you got to start from the ashes.
Yeah.
He swears a lot too. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, FYI.
Yeah.
Back to hygiene. Very important. Definitely, if not for those around you, which is also important, if not for those around you, then at least for yourself. If you're smelling yourself, you're looking at yourself, you don't look clean, it's hard to keep up a good self-image if you don't look and smell clean to yourself.
You can't set a good example if nobody wants to be like you.
True.
That's going on the wall.
Have some self-love and self-appreciation.
Yes.
Look
Exactly.
yourself in the mirror.
At least take care of yourself as good as you'll take care of your dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh boy.
Oh, Jordan
At least
Peterson.
take care of yourself as well as you take care of someone you care about.
Yes. Yes,
Hope so.
exactly. And with hygiene, let's go right into kind of the emotional side of mental health and physical well-being. I've noticed just in my own life when there's major stressors in my life, anything like that's anxiety inducing, then it will manifest itself as sickness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I've thrown
Definitely.
up from being so anxious.
Oh, yeah.
In middle school for a test or something. You're all, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
being stressed can make you lose hair. Like,
Mhm.
just from being stressed, you can lose hair. And
And it can turn white.
Oh,
Yeah.
I seen that in high school. Kids that were so worried about it, their hair was turning white. Like
That's
straight
terrible.
gray strands in their hair, and it was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Redo the school system.
I know
Yeah,
people,
that's
too, that are, like, in such a bad place and so depressed that they don't eat. And it's not because they have an eating disorder. It's because they just, I don't know, something in
They're
in
in
their
fight
brain.
and fight or flight so often, and that it just turns off their eating. They
Yeah.
don't need to eat, although it's killing them.
Yep.
Their body doesn't get hungry.
Well, we'll say your brain and your heart are connected, not the actual like physical heart, but like the emotional side and your physical well-being go hand in hand. You need both
Oh,
to
yeah.
keep each other kind of in check, because if you're like, super angry all the time too, it affects your body. Like my back hurts all the time, and I think it's from the budget, the financial worry, financial
Yeah.
stress makes making my back hurt like so bad.
Yeah, let me go grab that book real quick, and we can read some of that stuff because it's this. I got this book. It's called "You Can Heal Your Body" by Luis L. Hay, and it is fantastic for the emotional side of things and how they tie into your physical being. I saw some negative reviews on it simply because it says essentially most of what happens in your life and within your own body is up to you. And there was a lot of people that didn't like that. So let me go grab that real quick.
Just out of curiosity, what is metaphysics?
I don't even know what that word means.
Jesse.
I've heard it spoken about for video games, and that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about metaphysics. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but all right.
Maybe Noah knows.
He knows. He wrote it down.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Here he is. Noah, what is metaphysics?
Oh, yes. Metaphysics. So, metaphysics is kind of intertwines all the, call it hoodoo voodoo. We got crystals, we got energy work, we got auras, meditation, all that kind of stuff, all the spirituality side of things. The crazy lady down the street who has all these trinkets hanging out and believes it keeps the bad spirits away.
And a billion cats.
And a billion. All of that kind of ties into metaphysics. Essentially, it is the physical outside of the physical. So that presence that a person brings, that is part of their metaphysical makeup, as far as I understand it.
So your aura, essentially.
So your spirit,
Your vibe.
your aura,
Yeah.
your vibe.
And
Feelings.
the loose science behind that stuff.
Interesting.
I think a lot of that stuff actually does have a lot of real stuff like included, and a lot of it is it's real, but a lot of people, what the point I'm getting at is I've met people who like burn sage and they're like good vibes and crystals, and they are some of the meanest people you will ever meet in your life. Like, yeah, you're so spiritual that you're kind of a dick.
Yep.
I think it's definitely real to a point, but the whole putting crystals on your forehead and putting crystals where it hurts on your body, you kind of lost me.
Gotta
at that.
recharge your
Yeah.
chakras, bro.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Put a flashlight to your forehead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, and I don't know necessarily that the crystals themselves do anything. The best explanation I heard about it was that we in and of ourselves are the complete package, emotionally and otherwise, and the crystals more remind us of what we need to bring to the table, kind of thing.
What's that word? What's that? Because they did this study once where somebody had water, and they told somebody, okay, this water will fix you, and this is regular
Placebo?
water.
Placebo.
That placebo effect. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
if you think it's working, don't stop.
Yeah,
Just because
exactly.
we don't think.
Well, you can
Some of
trick
it we don't
yourself
love.
into believing
Yeah.
it.
If
Yeah,
you think
if-
the crystals work, keep thinking that.
Yeah, and
Oh,
if it
boy.
works for you, and if it's actually helping, don't stop because of anything we say.
Yeah.
Exactly. Please
And
don't.
We're not making fun of you for it either. So
Just
Same
our
with
opinions,
the
yeah.
same with the flashlight thing. If that will recharge your chakras, please
Please get it
continue.
up.
Yes, because we want your chakras all the way charged.
just don't shine it right in your eyes.
Yeah, don't do that.
No blinding here.
Don't stare at the sun, okay? I've had people who stare at the sun. They think it's good for you. Please don't do that.
It might hurt you.
Yes.
Please eat real food too. Don't fast for a year.
It. Anyway,
Fasting actually has benefits. All
we're
right.
getting
not
a
for
little
long
off
term,
topic.
though.
So we'll go back to this. So this book I have, it's called "You Can Heal Your Life." So I apologize for whatever I said before, and it is by Luis Hay. We can put a link to it, I'm sure, through Amazon. But here's one of the sections. It just says, this is the section for back problems and the emotions associated with those. So for the lower back, that's associated with a fear of money and lack of financial support, which is absolutely true. I think about finances a lot, and my back problems are in my lower back. It's incredible. The middle back is associated with guilt. Essentially, you're stuck in all that stuff in your past. And then the upper back is the lack of emotional support, feeling unloved, and holding back love. So if that rings true for any of you, it's a very good book to get. Again, it is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And we'll put a link to that under the video.
Yes, we will.
So that's one of the things you can use to heal your emotional health. Another thing you can use is called grounding, and that's essentially where you go stand in nature, barefoot, and just, well, essentially meditate.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially meditating and kind of grounding yourself with the actual planet, because we're around humans and machines and man-made stuff all day, and we sit in our houses and we got shoes and socks on. It's very rare that people actually will go and, just connect their, I would say, their naked body, for lack of a better term, with the naked earth, and kind of just, be in nature. And I know that sounds like go tree hug, but it is like that. It is, and it does have benefits, and it can clear some of the energies out that you have, like negative energies, whatnot. I'm starting to sound like a kooky lady myself right now, but
That's fine.
There's actual documentaries on that it's proven to help.
It really does.
I've done this, and it does help me every single time. And when you're stressed, you just take a walk and get barefoot and just kind of go be in nature.
Stand on some good cool grass next to a stream. Oh man, it's one of the best things out there. Or just sit above it, touch a tree, whatever. It's just a very good reminder that we all essentially came from the dust, and to the dust we shall return. It is a
Where was that from?
Huh?
Where was that from?
What?
We all came from the dust, and the dust we will return. That was impressive.
I don't know. just for me, I'm sure I've heard it somewhere. I couldn't tell you where I heard it from though, or read it. But essentially, yeah, you're being able to touch the cycle of eternity as far as life goes, and that brings a certain perspective and humility to oneself, and allows one to just relax, calm down.
Yeah, it's like going
very
and
nice.
sitting in front of the Grand Canyon and seeing how vast and huge it is, or like Zion's.
Absolutely humbling.
Yeah, it's humbling. It makes you feel like, oh, I am an ant compared
Yeah.
to like this, and this planet gave me life, and it can take it away just as soon.
Mm-hmm.
Just as fast as it gave it to me, it can take it away.
But somehow that helps us relieve stress. I don't understand why, but it does.
It does. It's scary, but in a really cool way that like puts you at ease.
Absolutely. Any documentaries you've seen with avalanches or anything like that, it's incredible. It's amazing.
hmm Especially like with all that's going on right now. Take a freaking hike. Take a freaking hike. Put your phone away. Disconnect from this hatred and bad energy and just negativity that this planet has right now. This is a huge part of the mental health is from other people, and you're kind of letting them affect you in that way. People see the news and they see other people being so mean, or they post something and somebody comments, and you're letting them affect how your mood is. And it's a big deal, and I'm not saying bullying's okay or anything like that, but like you need to have the strength to not to take everything everybody says seriously. Like they might have issues themselves, and they're just kind of offloading it onto you.
And being part of the earth helps with that. It's like, yes, I may be small and insignificant compared to the earth. However, I am part of this tremendously amazing thing. So I don't have to take Jerry's crap down the street as seriously, you know?
Yeah, screw
Sorry
you,
for
Jerry.
all the Jerrys out there. So another kind of emotional health thing that I've heard is very beneficial is something called essential oils. And those are, really, it's just the the oils of different plants around the world, but it's some of them have soothing and calming effects. Some of them have antibacterial properties. Some of them, I mean, there's a lot of plants that were put on this earth that are very beneficial, and if you get the essence, the oil out of them, they have very good health benefits.
Yeah, like peppermint. It'll help calm your stomach if you're gonna feel like you're gonna throw up. Helps a lot. Or a headache. Stuff helps a lot.
Clears your brain too. It makes your mind clear. It'll wake you up. It's got all sorts of cool things in there. There's a bunch of them.
Lavender can like. What does lavender do? Isn't that like a calming?
Yeah.
Yeah, it like calms your nerves.
Helps with burns too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
CBD oil.
I don't have much experience with that one, but it's supposed to calm you down.
It does. It works.
Okay, good.
It's actually helped with smoking. I'm not going to say his name, but one of my very close friends has a nicotine problem, and he tried smoking CBD instead. Smoking anything is not the best idea, so I don't recommend smoking anything, but smoking CBD is a little better than smoking nicotine, and he said that helped him, and I've actually seen it help him quite a lot, so that was good.
Yeah, and we'll put our emphasis on that again. Smoking anything that is foreign to your body is probably not the best idea, but if you got to choose the lesser of two evils, I dare say CBD is better than tobacco.
Yeah, and it's steps too. It's not like, okay, just switch and then continue smoking CBD. It's like, okay, switch to CBD and then get off of that slowly to where you're not smoking anything. And, you know, you got to have fun every now and then. And if you don't have a problem with nicotine, in my opinion, we get one life. And, you know, if smoking occasionally, like smoking a little bit of marijuana is not going to kill you, and it might be fun and relaxing for a night, so do that. But to constantly do something and create a habit out of it that's going to be detrimental to your health is something that we are very much against.
You're just creating a crutch for yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Moderation in all things is the best, probably the best advice I've ever heard anywhere. Because, yeah, even too much of a good thing is bad. It can become an addiction and a crutch. So another thing along with the essential oils is just make sure you get enough vitamins and minerals. We don't, in this day and age, a lot of our food doesn't have all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs to function properly. So if you end up recognizing that you're running low on something, or if you realize that your food does not contain what you need, then make sure to take those supplements. Take that special energy drink that has all this stuff. Just whatever you got to do, make sure your body gets enough vitamins and minerals, because that is essential for proper brain and body function.
Absolutely. And I wanted to bring up something, too, that we don't have written down, but pharmaceuticals. A lot of people rely very heavily on antidepressants, pharmaceuticals, anything from the doctor, and usually those are not the best options. Like, if you absolutely need that medication to survive, like, yes.
Their side effects often keep you on the medication.
Absolutely. And get you on different medications.
Antidepressants?
It's just a loop of destroying your body through chemicals that they say are going to fix you, but they never do. It's just kind of like putting a Band-Aid on the problem until you slowly die. And it's not healthy. I personally am very against pharmaceuticals. Any pill, and that's different than supplements. There's supplements like, let's see,
essentially supplements are plants, right?
Yeah, like any plant-based thing, like a lion's mane mushroom.
Oh, that's a good one.
I take that every day now. It's fantastic. Melatonin even, it's not too bad.
A lot of melatonin. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different options, and I would highly recommend, before you go to the pharmaceutical anything, see if you can heal your body through plants and natural means. That is the best way, and it's going to keep you healthy for a long time instead of slowly killing your body. You can fix a problem now, and it's just going to show up in a different problem later. And it's just going to cut your lifespan in half.
Yeah, you can take antidepressants, which overstimulate your we'll call it happy chemical areas of your brain, thereby causing you to have more dependency over time. Or you can take something like lion's mane, which naturally builds more connections in your brain and stimulates nervous system growth. which will accelerate your happy process naturally and just allow you to have that much more consciousness during your everyday life. I love lion's mane, by the way.
And again, with the plant healings, or healing yourself with plants, it is going to be a lot harder, and it's going to take longer. If you got a specific issue, yeah, pharmaceuticals will fix it quickly, but they're not going to help you in the long run because, you know, it just doesn't work that way.
And they mostly fix the symptoms, not the problem.
Exactly. So it will be a rough road. So it's not going to be easy, but that's where self-discipline comes in. And failing, but learning off your failures and keep going, you know, keep on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
You also got longevity. What are they?
Youngjevity.
Or Youngjevity.
Yeah, Youngjevity makes a couple products. There's one called Tangy Tangerine. And then there's another one. So the Tangy Tangerine is all your vitamins and minerals that you could need, plus some. It's got some fantastic benefits to that. Love drinking that stuff. It's good all natural
It's a good
mix.
replacement for energy drinks.
Yes, very much so. Will make you need to pee a lot, I believe. It does have some diuretics in there, but it is very fantastic replacement for energy drinks. I also love, they're not quite as healthy as Youngjevity, but they're called Zip Fizz. I get them from Costco. They've got a little bit of caffeine in them, so that gives you that little boost. You don't want to get dependent on it, obviously, but mostly what I love about it is it's got a ton of B12 in there, which is a natural energy vitamin, especially for men, but for both sexes. And those have been fantastic for me. That's what I'll take midday, and I can still sleep at night. It's nice.
That's good.
Yeah. Anything else anyone can think of about self-improvement trap, self-care, metaphysics? There is one more thing that I have experienced a little bit. It's called foot zoning. For those of you who haven't heard of it, essentially, I'm gonna make it sound real simple right now. And for those foot zoners out there, they're probably gonna get upset, but that's okay. Essentially, someone's running knuckles up and down your feet in certain areas. Certain areas of your feet correspond to certain areas of your body. They can clear blockages, both spiritual and emotional, via these channels that they run their knuckles through, and they can clear all sorts of, we'll call it bad juju, from your body. Very interesting. I would definitely check it out if you haven't experienced it before, and then you decide whether it's worth pursuing or not.
It hurts like hell.
It does hurt, especially when there is what they call a blockage. Then they gotta work on it a little harder, and it can get a little painful.
No pain, no gain, right?
Exactly. It did help me quite a bit when I had it done, so I enjoyed it. I will be going back. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about the theta healing at all?
Yeah, so there is a thing called emotion code and theta healing. Essentially, it's where a person can reach into your aura, your metaphysical persona, and kind of communicate with that part of you to try to heal you in a customized way for you. So they'll heal a bunch of emotional trauma from your childhood, from your ancestors, from whatever. And that's a very controversial thing, but also very worth looking into and at least trying if you have not. Again, that's emotion code and theta healing.
All right. Does anybody have anything else?
No, I'm good.
No.
Alrighty. So I'd say to wrap up this, we just kind of do a brief overview of it. So self-improvement trap, just, take small bits at a time and stay focused on one thing at a time. And self-care, just, make sure your body's healthy and you're getting what you're needing. You can't even live without having a healthy body. So your body's pretty much your greatest investment. You really need to invest in your body. So, yeah. With that, this is...
I did want to add one more thing. Just remember, folks, we are going over the Richest Man in Babylon book. For those of you following along, we are going to go over that book next time.
That's true. Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a good day.
All right.
See you guys next week.
See you later, guys.